There are calls for stronger health checks on Canberra eateries, with concerns that authorities haven't been able to keep up with the city's thriving hospitality scene. Food safety experts say some restaurants with the worst records for food hygiene haven't been inspected for years.
Exposed raw chicken, later left at unsafe temperatures. Maggots on the floor and in the flour. These photos show Canberra eateries at their worst. Eating out is something this Canberra couple is now avoiding after becoming infected with salmonella from a cronut bought from a cafe last year.
I don't feel safe sort of going out and venturing out and having a social life like we used to.
The food poisoning hit Lauren and her multiple sclerosis hard.
She'd literally shut down, so I physically couldn't get her into the shower, which was a metre away.
Lauren has never fully recovered. The infection reversed the effects of a critical stem cell transplant that had stopped her MS from progressing.
So once I had salmonella, it's brought back all of those things that the stem cell transplant had been able to halt.
Lauren and David are not alone. In the ACT, reported salmonella rates have risen since 2014. Last year, they were higher than the national average.
So I would definitely say that there has been more outbreaks in Canberra in recent years.
But some businesses found to have posed a serious public health risk and not being followed up. One chicken shop with a history of food safety complaints was later caught with critically poor food handling, cleaning and pest control and was forced to close for 4 months. Health authorities let it reopen in November 2016, but they haven't returned since. It's not an isolated case. Of the 19 businesses issued prohibition orders since 2015, only 12 have been re-inspected. So just how often are Canberra restaurants randomly checked?
Around about every 3 years. I'm certainly aware of it can be up to 5 years for a business.
He says that's partly because inspectors are too busy investigating complaints. Last year there were 377. Experts say authorities are rightly focused on responding to illness but need to do more to prevent it.
People would like to know that food businesses are inspected much more regularly, particularly if there's a cloud hanging over them.
Mr Moore wants to see a scores on doors system where cafes and restaurants publicly display hygiene standards. He says that provides businesses with an incentive to improve food safety.
We know the system works.
The system is in place in many parts of Australia, even as close as Queanbeyan. In 2015, the ACT government very briefly implemented it before quietly scrapping it. The Health Minister says she hasn't looked at bringing it back because no stakeholders have asked her to. And she says the alternative approach of education and awareness is working.
That's despite an earlier report from her own government finding education and awareness would not alone increase transparency of food regulation. But she says it is concerning if all venues with poor records are not being followed up.
I will immediately follow up and make sure that that happens.
It's a commitment many Canberrans will be happy to hear. Clare, Sibthorpe, ABC News, Canberra.